The mic is on. The mic is on.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your favorite podcast, Stop the Internet Podcast. I'm Kelee.
I'm Jimmy.
Okay, I have an update for you. I watched The Traitors. I watched the whole first season. Like, literally, as soon as you left, I watched it. And I feel like I always say, like, oh, yeah, I totally have to watch that or, like, read that book. And then I never do. But I actually did. I watched the whole first season. It was so good.
You were you were holding out on me.
Yes.
You did not tell me that you watched it. Okay, yeah. Okay, what did you think?
I thought it was so relevant because even one of my friends was listening and texted me and was like, oh my God, I love The Traitors. And I was like, okay, the people know we're talking traitors. Mm-hmm. I need to bring it up on the pod. It was so good.
Oh my God, yeah. The first season had a lot of good characters. You have to watch the second season. So good.
I watched it like back to back to back. Like I could not wait to see the next episode. The only thing I don't really like about it is the challenges part. Because like I get that that's good for them. But I almost feel like it's kind of irrelevant to us. Like, I almost wish there was, like, something about the challenges tied more into, like, storytelling or, like, how they lie. I don't know.
Yeah, like more of the Big Brother type challenges where they have to know stuff from the game.
Okay, I've never watched Big Brother, so I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I know. I agree because I feel like the challenges sometimes, like, even though the challenges have the shield somewhere involved, so, like, that's how you protect yourself, so you want to participate and do well. It's kind of like luck. Like if you see the shield, then you get it.
Yeah.
It's not like you're really like you have to win the challenge to get the shield.
Yes. You know? And I guess like the one girl, okay, spoiler for the first season. If anyone wants to watch it, just skip ahead a few minutes. The one girl from the first season, Kate, like when she, everyone thought she was a traitor. So she's like, I don't know why I'm doing this. Like everyone's going to send me home. I'm not going to like go all out and try to win money for other people when I'm going to go home tonight. I thought that was so funny. Like they got so lucky with how all of that played out, like the production, because it made the show so much more entertaining.
Oh yeah.
And the girl that was the main traitor, oh my God, I'm forgetting her name now.
Suri.
Wow. She's amazing. I was like, wow. Literally, for some reason, she had every player in the game. Like, I know 100% Suri is not a traitor. And how did that happen?
She's like that on every single show that she goes on. She was on Survivor. She was on Big Brother.
Oh, wow.
Now she's on Traitors. Big Brother, she ran like the first 3/4 of the game and she had her son on at the same time as her. I swear she would have gotten to the end if her son wasn't on the game with her.
No way.
Because he was just not good at it. Wow. Like he was so sus the whole time and they didn't tell anyone that they were mother and son.
Oh.
But then one person, her name was Izzy, figured it out like day one. Was
How?
Like because she was a huge Sharif Fields fan.
Okay.
So she was like, I know everything about you. I know that's your son. And the three of them had that and it was fine.
Okay.
Izzy was never gonna like rot them out.
Yeah.
But Jared, which was her son, was just so bad at the game. Like he was bad at making alliances. He was bad at keeping secrets. He was bad at like lying to people. And you have to be able to lie on those shows. Like it's a huge part of the game. But she was so good on it.
She's amazing. Like I don't know how she did it.
Did you watch the reunion part?
I watched part of it.
That was the only thing that was like rough for me to see because so the second season they don't have any normal people. It's all celebrities of some sort.
But there was only like 3, right? Normal people or 4 maybe on this one. Okay.
Yeah, but 2 of them got to the end.
Oh,
and
right.
Remember at the end she was the sole traitor. Like she won the money.
Yeah.
Because she was left in the game and she got them all to throw green.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Dude, when
how about when she threw the red and
then the other guy was still there. Out. Yes. That was iconic. Yes.
And she was just like, and he took himself out of the game. Like he didn't even try to stay.
Yeah.
Which like was nice on his part.
Right. Because he's already like, I mean, he felt fine with it. Yeah.
But then, so at the end, Suri won all the money because she was the final traitor and she got them all to throw green. So the other 2 people didn't get any money. Yeah. And they were really hurt by her. And they were like, we have families. We shared this with you.
Right.
Like how much we needed this money, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, I didn't sign up to be a traitor. I was picked to be a traitor randomly. And I like was playing the game.
Yeah.
And like normal people don't get that, I feel like. You know what I mean?
That's a good point. Yeah.
So I was kind of glad that on the second season they didn't have any normal people. Like they all were there to play the game.
Yeah.
Which was better, you know what I mean? But
that makes sense. Yeah, I did notice there was so many like personal stories like floating around, and people would be like, "Oh, I heard that girl say that it's just a game to her." And it's like, why? It is a game. The whole thing is a game. Like that's the reason you're here to play this game. Right. And if you win the game, you win the money. Like, what do you want her to say? This is my whole life, like being on this reality show. Like, it is a game. And then I think there was a few scenes that my mom watched or a few episodes that my mom watched, and she was like, "Oh, I don't like that person," or like, "They're a liar." And I'm like, yeah, but if that was me on the show, you'd be like, look at her making these decisions. She's killing it. She's like being ruthless to win. And like, yeah, I think that that's weird that they were so like, well, I guess it's not weird because I could see where they're coming from, where they're like, "Oh, well, we trusted you." But it's kind of like in Survivor, like you make alliances and there's only one person that's going to win. So if you make a trio alliance and you trust them with your life, still one of them has to win, and they don't owe you shit if they win the $1 million.
Yeah. And you protect yourselves together.
Right.
Like you protect each other up until a certain point, but then it's kind of like every man's on their own.
Yeah.
Because it is a game and there could only be one winner. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh my God. I'm so glad that you watched.
It was
what
so
did you think
good.
of Alan Cummings and like his fashion and everything else? Like,
I didn't think he was like a standout. I just think, I guess the players were so or some of them, I should say, were so like interesting and entertaining that I didn't really pay a lot of attention to the host.
Oh my God.
Sadly, I'm sorry.
Okay, well, I mean, the second season, it only gets better.
Okay.
But like his fashion, and he's just so over the top.
Yeah.
And like the fact that it's in a castle in Scotland.
I know.
Like it's crazy. Like where they are is like nuts. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love season 1, but season 2 was like even better for me. Like it was funnier. I loved the cast on the second season.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
When my friend texted me, she was like, "Oh, did you watch the second season?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't want to watch it until the whole thing is out." And I've been seeing like clips about it on podcasts, YouTube videos, like TikTok, and every time I just like skip like way further than I have to because I don't want any spoilers at all. So maybe I'll start it this week or next week. I'm excited.
Yeah, you have to. Oh my God. Okay.
I literally want to go on a reality show. I think I have, I don't know what it's called, like an addictive personality. Like, I don't know, but everything I do, I just like hyper fixate on it. And like for a lot of things, it becomes my whole personality. Like I watched Willy Wonka on Saturday. And then immediately after I texted you guys and I was like, I fear Willy Wonka is going to become my whole personality. It wasn't even the new one. It was the Johnny Depp one. And I've always loved the Gene Wilder one since I was a kid. I liked the Johnny Depp one, rewatched it. And then this weekend, so that was 2 weeks ago. This past weekend, it came out on HBO Max. So I'm going to watch it. I can't wait. And then I'm like already mentally planning my Willy Wonka Halloween costume.
Stop. Oh my God.
And I'm like, wait, I can, like you can watch a movie and then not be it for Halloween.
Right.
But I don't know if I can.
I mean, you can't say you're not prepared.
True.
Right? I loved the Willy Wonka movies, the Gene Wilder one, as a kid. And then a couple years ago, like when COVID first hit, we like quarantined at Tyler's parents' house, like down the shore.
Oh, fun.
And we were there the one day and we were like, oh, let's like, hang out, whatever, and watch Willy Wonka. And it terrified me.
The Johnny Depp one or the old one?
The old one. The old one terrified me. I don't think I could ever watch it again.
Really?
And I'm like, how did I love this as a kid?
Oh my God.
And now it's like so scary. It like really
so
freaks
weird.
me out. Yeah. No, like super freaked me out.
My sister always hated that movie and like the Alice in Wonderlands. I love the Alice in Wonderland from 1955, like the animated one. It's like the OG one. I guess it's not even the OG one, but animated. And then they made the new ones in like the 2000s and I just never got into them. But I loved the one that was animated. It also gives Willy Wonka vibes. Like they're just like a little bit weird and like, I don't know. There's just like a lot of stuff in them that it's like, how is this a kid's movie?
Yeah, and like I've never done acid, but like to me it's like an acid trip in a movie.
I was gonna say like drug inspired, but I didn't know if that was like actually true.
No, they gotta be. I mean, there's
allegedly.
probably like allegedly, but I could put money that there's like a dissertation on it. Like
probably.
I bet. And I think that's why it freaks me out.
I think the Alice in Wonderland, like all the different like stories that she encounters, people think that they all represent different drugs as she's like going through Wonderland. I mean, allegedly. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's still one of my my favorite movies, but I don't know why, like my brain, I just love that stuff. Just eat it up. I can't wait to see the one with Timothée Chalamet.
Probably because you're like a creative too.
Yeah,
you know
I
what I mean?
guess.
Like you have a creative personality and like aura.
Yeah,
so that
I like
probably makes
weird
sense.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, not even weird shit, but like you're just like creative in general. You're artsy.
Oh.
You know, you're like tapped into like the artistic, creative side of life.
Oh my God, that was so nice. Thank you.
Well, you are. I told you that. Yeah.
But I do think that those things are weird. I don't know. I do like weird movies sometimes. There are some weird ass movies now. Do you know A24?
No.
It's a production company and they kind of popped off in the past few years. And just like every weird ass movie. Sorry, I'm saying weird. I'm not trying to be insulting because, like I said, I like weird movies, but they make the weirdest freaking movies. Like, I can't even.
I was gonna say, do you know like any examples of them?
Men. Have you watched Men?
No.
I'm pretty sure Midsommar is.
Oh, okay. Yep. I haven't watched that one, but I've heard
Hereditary.
everything about it.
I said Men as the first one because that one is just weird. I would not tell you to watch it.
I do want to watch
so
Midsummer.
strange. Okay. Do you? What kind
You're
of
like, you
movies do
can't handle.
like?
She's
No.
like, you can't handle Willy Wonka. You think you're about to watch that shit? You're gonna die.
It's just like it's a different style of like disturbing. It's just so.
Is it like what's that one where the woman wear the white bonnets and the red and about abortion?
A Handmaid's Tale.
Is it like a Handmaid's Tale?
I've never watched it, but just from what I know about that, no. Like not at all.
Okay, way off.
Wait, I need to read you some of these movies to see if you ever heard of them. I'm gonna only read the ones that are like The Zone of Interest just came out. No, okay. Well, they did Priscilla. That's interesting. Talk to Me. Did you see that? I watched that too. My boyfriend's an A24 person, so I've been watching all these like mentally scarring movies, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
That's hilarious. No.
Talk to Me is about this hand. It's a hand statue, and if you touch it and then you say talk to me, you're like taken into this like spiritual realm and like a spirit comes into you, but you only have like 60 seconds. And if you go over 60 seconds, then like they don't leave. And I like don't like ghost movies, so I wasn't really like stoked to watch this one, but everyone else, like the roommates and everyone were like, yeah, let's watch it. So I'm like, okay, I'll give in. I just feel like with ghost movies, anything like paranormal like that, even sometimes like magic movies, it's like, this isn't even fun anymore. This is what I was, after we watched this movie and we were like deep diving into what we thought about it, because they're all like movie people. And I'm like, I like Aquamarine. Like, she's the man. But anyway, I was like, I just feel like sometimes with those movies, this is not going to make sense. So if you're a movie buff, just don't hate me. There's like no rules. Because like if it's magic, you can do literally anything. Whereas if it's like a psychological thriller, you kind of have to be like, okay, well, how are we now going to connect like all these dots rationally so that the murderer is the person from the beginning, but nobody suspects it? And here, like Saltburn, like here's all these steps that happen that they wouldn't know. And I feel like with magical movies, you can be like, oh, well, like who's going to be the killer? Oh, magic. It's like this person, or like it was a ghost, because like, I don't know. I just feel like it. And then I said this, I was like, I feel like it takes a little more creative thinking to write something that doesn't involve magic. But then they were all like, you think it takes less creativity to not think of like a magic realm, like the person who thought of this magic world with like all this stuff that doesn't actually exist and they just made it all up from scratch, that takes less creativity. And I was like, I see where you're coming from, but in a weird way, yes. Like,
no, I agree.
don't
Like I
know.
think some things have to be explained. So like when it comes to the point where like there's no explanation, then it's like you could literally like, what's the point of this? Like the point of something is that there's a plot, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end, and you figure out how it's all connected. To me, at least.
Yes.
I feel the same way about. I stopped watching Stranger Things.
Okay. Yeah.
Once they introduced like the Down Under, which I know.
Isn't that like the first episode?
It probably was. I don't even know. No, maybe I think I made it to like the second season.
Okay,
but
the first
whatever
season was the best by far, and then it did get
things were happening, and it was like there's like no, like what is this? Like I'm not doing this, so I stopped watching it. And everyone's like, oh my god, it's so good, blah blah blah. And maybe they did connect the dots eventually. Maybe I just like jumped off the train before it got to the stop. That's okay with me.
Yeah.
But I'm also not really like, what do you call that? Like mythological.
Yeah.
minded person. Like even the Harry Potters, like I love the movies and all, but like not like I was never a Harry Potter buff.
Yes.
So there's some things that just aren't for me.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
And the thing that I was saying like isn't really about the A24 movies. Like Talk to Me. I do feel like there was like my one friend was like they created a set of rules and the entire movie lived within those rules. And I'm like, okay, that's true. It was a very well made, and yeah, I'm not trying to hate on that movie because specifically that one, it was good. It's very well made. So the rules thing, I agree more about the Stranger Things. I totally agree. It's like the first 2 seasons were like they were crazy, they were wild, but I'm like, yeah, I could see where you're coming from. And then I just feel like the further into it you got, it's just like, oh, this another crazy thing to add to the mix. And I'm like, all right, this is just getting out of hand. Like, I no longer care about these, like, I don't know. Yeah, it's just not for me at a certain point.
Yeah, yes, like almost like you're reaching. Like, you don't know what, or like you produced the show and didn't finish writing it before you started. And now you're on timelines and you're like, oh shit. And I'm like, there could have been a lot more thought put into this, but also maybe I'm just missing it.
That's a good point too. But I really do just feel like the magical, like almost anything with a magical plot, it's like if you're in like a creative rut and you're like, well, what needs to happen next? Like literally anything that you could possibly think of could happen next. And by magic, it just makes sense. Like that almost just seems too easy to me.
Right.
I don't know. I guess like what I'm thinking, they were all saying, the people that I watched Talk to Me with, they were all saying that I'm like backwards in my view of it. But I'm like, I don't think it's backwards. I just think maybe I'm not describing it in a good way.
Yeah.
But it's like they could make another Harry Potter movie right now and be like, oh, by magic, they all went back in time and were living their younger lives and like did all these crazy things and like went and like it's all just magic. So it all makes sense. But it's like it really doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but I guess it doesn't have to make sense because it's like fantastical and like magic.
Now wait, now I'm thinking about that like Taylor Swift, okay?
Okay.
I know like these are totally different, but how she has all these like Easter eggs and how things like that she releases now connect back to like 2014 or whatever, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think when she's releasing these things, she purposely puts these things in the new things to relate back to the old things? Or do you think she actually has her shit planned that far out? Like she can't have it planned that far out. But she could be like, oh, I could connect this one to that song because they're similar storylines.
Wow.
And like now they're intertwined. And like I could like even just like random like a clock from the You Belong With Me video or something, like not saying that this happened.
Yeah.
But like could pull that out and put it somewhere in the new album music video. And they're like, oh my God, was she thinking this far ahead? You know what I mean?
I think yes. But I think she also does both because even when she was like really young, like her first album when she's 16 or 15, whatever, there was like Easter eggs in it. Did you ever have like those CDs?
Yeah.
And remember like in the lyrics, like there would be the little booklet and in the lyrics, there's like capital letters and then those capital letters all spell like a phrase.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, I'm sorry, or like, he was amazing, like stuff like that. So I feel like she always liked doing that. And then she started doing it just on like a bigger and bigger scale. But I think that the things that are planned out 3 to 4 years are like justifiable. Like we could probably be like, okay, she planned that. I do think though that she probably includes a lot of stuff that she just never goes back to. And then yeah, maybe like her plans change and she's like, oh, I'm not going to release that pop album. I'm going to release Evermore instead. So I can't really tie it back to those original things that I was going to. So then they like never come to fruition. And it's like, oh, that is just like a random clock or like a random tree in that video. Yeah, but I do think that she could be like, oh, well, I didn't leave any Easter eggs. So like, how could I tie this back? And then she just picks, like a random object or something. That's a good point. Okay, this actually ties into like something that's on my list for today. So to introduce our topic, we're doing not the flex you thought it was, which everything I just said could be said about me. It's not the flex you thought it was. When I'm like, A24, here's how to write a movie.
Is the flex in the room with us right now?
No, literally. Wait, okay, also, I just have to clarify. Sorry. I really do like the A24 films. They're just very strange and mentally shocking, but I still like them. I still enjoy watching them.
Maybe not something you want to watch every weekend. Like you could appreciate it every once in a while.
I guess I just think like, I think some people watch them and they're like brilliant. I watch them and I'm like, is the writer okay?
Yeah.
It's still beautifully made, but sometimes I'm like, okay, we're going a little far with things.
You should talk to someone or she should talk to someone. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think that too. I was actually about to wear an A24 shirt today. So that would have been very ironic. That would have looked too planned. So I'm
Not
good.
the flex you think that it was.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. So not the flex you thought it was is like when people are like so proud of this like certain thing, but it's like, why are you proud of that? Like that does not make you cool. That does not make you fun. Relating it, I'll use this as my first one from my list. When people think they're like a bigger fan of someone than you. I feel like when we were in high school, being like a mega fan or like the number one fan of someone was like really like a sought after position. And if you were like the biggest Taylor Swift fan, you had like extra clout. And like I knew everything about her. I had 47 posters of her. Like I knew her life story. I knew her middle name. Like I was cooler than everyone else. Now I feel like with a lot of like major artists, everyone is on the same level. I feel like you used to walk around like a Taylor Swift concert and there would be people in normal clothes and then there would be people in these like crazy costumes and everyone's like, well, you win. Like you're clearly like a bigger fan than everyone else, you know? And it was like a fun thing to do. Now I feel like everyone is like a super mega fan of Taylor. And like just because you have tickets to her concert, like doesn't mean you're a bigger fan or like more deserving. And like, I don't know. I feel like if someone were to talk about Taylor Swift or like Beyonce, Harry Styles, and they're like, well, I'm a huge fan and like I've always been a big fan and like I win. It's like, it's no longer a contest. Like we're all on the same level, you know? Like I don't like her more than you and you don't like her more than me. We're all the number one fan. I think we all sing from Victorious. You know what I mean?
No, I never watched
Do you know that
show.
meme? It's not from, there's a meme of, I feel like I'm going to sound like a hater now, but I'm not a hater because I like her. But Victoria Justice, they're like interviewing the Victorious cast and they're all like, Liz sings all the time. No, Ariana sings all the time. And then Victoria Justice goes, I think we all sing.
Oh.
And it was just like so real though.
Yeah, girl.
But now that's like a major pop culture meme. When people
I
are
don't
like,
know.
but we all like her. It's like, I think we all sing.
Yeah, I think too. So like with like Taylor, Beyonce, Harry Styles, like the big names, like everyone's gonna like they're clearly respected, well-known artists. Like you can't really do that.
Yeah.
I do though. Like even with like lesser known people, you know what I mean? Like Maggie Rogers or Chelsea Cutler or like I don't know. I'm just throwing random ones out where they're like getting to the point of really being like huge names as well. I still see people sometimes like bragging and I'm like, okay, great. Like I wish, like you're right, like a year or two ago before like that album went like huge, I wish that I knew that about them. You know what I mean? Like I've been a Casey Musgraves fan from day one. The girls and the gays love Casey now. This gays always love Casey. Like I've been a day one Casey. You know what I mean? I don't run around telling everyone that. I'm like, yeah, like isn't she so good? Like you should check out this album too. Like there's a way about going about doing it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I'm like, because it is. It's just it's like strange.
Yeah.
And then the people too that get to the point where like it is their personality that like they're like, I'm the number one fan. It's like, oh, like you got anything else going on? Like fucking chill. Like, great.
Yes. No,
Find a hobby.
Yes. And I feel like, especially with Taylor and the Easter eggs, because people know that she does it, it's like, just because I don't spend like the entire day like deep diving into every single scene of every music video and every tweet and every Instagram caption, like, doesn't mean I don't like her as much as you. And like, I almost feel like 3 tours ago, if you were like, yeah, I was first row, like I made sure I was there, like wouldn't miss it, people would be like, wow, that's amazing. But now if you were like, yeah, I was first row, people would be like, well, stop fucking bragging, like you're not special. Like I don't know, because like it's no longer a flex to be like, I don't know, it's almost just like you're bragging, like you don't sound like fun and cool anymore. You're just like, you're just trying to sound like you're better than other people, but you're not, just because you know this like one extra fun fact about your favorite singer.
Yeah. And just because I was in the fucking nosebleeds and I almost had a nosebleed from the change in pressure or altitude doesn't mean that you in the first row are any better than me.
Yes.
Okay? I saw Little Miss Blondie when she opened up for Rascal Flatts in Moosic, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Okay. but I don't go around bragging about it until right now. Is this episode going to be about us? Are we going to have to be like, oh, wait, I think I did that.
Yeah. And disclaimer, everything that I'm about to say, I've done it. I've done all of them, but I've grown as a person.
You live and you learn.
Yes. And I've realized that this is no longer a flex and I'm not going to use it as one. So anyway, to answer your question, I do think Taylor does that.
Taylor Allison Swift.
Born December 13th. Like, do you remember in Justin Bieber's documentary, Never Say Never?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
Oh, love. There was like this group of girls that were like, he was born on March 6th at like 8:57 p.m. on a Tuesday. And it's like 6 girls all screaming it or like something. And I was like, that used to get you clout. Now, if you went around doing that, people would be like, all right, like we all love him.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know, I do like looking at the old pictures, like memories
oh my God, I
of
know.
when people were like that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the like little oddballs that would like I was one of the little oddballs.
Yeah.
That like wore this like giant hat to see Taylor Swift because it was like her debut album, Country.
Yes.
I was like, I love Taylor Swift. How no one knew I was gay. I appreciate that though now, you know?
No, yeah,
but
I appreciate it too.
Up.
I love the memories and like I love that I did that. I support people doing that. Like, don't think that you're better than somebody else because of that.
You're right. I think too, our perception of it changes as we get older.
Yes.
Because we realize that these people are just like us.
Yeah.
They're just famous.
No, I don't even think that's what it is for me. I thought you meant the fans when you said these people are just like us. I was like, yeah.
Well, yeah, they are. They're just like us. But like, I don't know. Don't you think like when you're younger, you like really are like starstruck by things?
Yes.
Not that like if Taylor Swift walked in the room or Beyonce, like I would literally die. Like, I don't know that I'd be able to do it. But like, I don't spend every waking moment about it. You know what I mean? Whereas I feel like when you're younger, it's more acceptable to like have that be like your thing.
Yeah.
So maybe our view on it is changing. Because I think those fans still exist for like Olivia Rodrigo. Like younger girls who were like obsessed with Olivia Rodrigo before.
Okay, so maybe it's as an adult is where it becomes
That's
like,
what I'm thinking.
It's like you don't need to fight to the death to prove, I guess. Like my one example was my cousin took her daughter to see Taylor's show. I had just gone to the concert too and she was like telling me about it and I was like, yeah, like it was so amazing. And then my mom was like, oh yeah, like my girls love Taylor too. And like we were all kind of like talking about how much we love Taylor. I was like, if I was in high school right now, I would have gone into like speech about how like I love Taylor and like nobody loves her like I do and I know everything about her. I got there 18 hours early and I waited at the gate and now I'm just at the point, maybe it's like an insecurity versus security thing, because now I'm like, I recognize that everyone in this conversation, we all love her and like I don't have to prove it to you, you know?
Yeah, that's why I'm
like
thinking maybe it did change.
Yeah.
As we get older.
Yeah.
Because I'd be the same way.
I would have literally fought to the death to been like, I get that you like her, but I love her. And it's like, okay, you just honestly, you sound weird. And I'm talking to myself.
Me like trying to like get my 7th grade girlfriend to like me back. I get that you like her, but I love her.
I literally love her. Yeah. That's what I would have gone off. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Should we move on? Do you want to talk now? I feel like I think this is so funny. When you introduced the topic, I started cracking up like I was trying to be quiet. But roll the tape because I think that when you sent me what we were going to talk about, it's kind of on par with what it is, but it's just a little bit different. Mine are just a little bit different than yours. Wait, this is so funny. Okay.
So my first, not the flex that you think it was, is people who live in mansions and have zero furniture.
Okay. I feel like we're on the same page.
So I think it's so strange. Like there's one person that comes to mind. I will not name him from
Kim Kardashian.
when I grew up. Kim Kardashian. Her house is, I could get behind her design a little bit. Just a little color. She needs a little more color.
Yeah.
But there's someone that I grew up with, and he would always brag about how he lived in Glenmara, which is like the richest neighborhood in my town. Like $1 million homes, like they're huge, they're gorgeous mansions. But you would walk in there and there would be no furniture. Granted, he was a kid, right? He's not buying the couch. But his parents were the same way. Like they would like gloat about like living in Glenmara and like they have this huge house.
Wait,
and
what?
They were in this house for like over a decade, like over 10 years, right? That's what a decade is.
Yes.
They were in this house for like over 10 years and there were still like the rooms were empty.
Where did they sit?
So they had like a little living room.
Okay.
But then they had like a dining room, an office,
okay,
formal dining room, like an extra bedroom, and they were just empty, completely empty rooms.
What?
They would have like boxes. Like, you know, the Home Depot boxes, like the moving boxes. They would just have Home Depot moving boxes. Like,
what was in the boxes?
All over. Like, I don't know.
Their stuff?
I don't know. Why are you buying this huge mansion? Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Do you think it was because they couldn't afford to furnish it, or they just like didn't care enough to actually furnish it?
I think they probably couldn't afford to furnish it.
Wow.
So that time, like, why are you gloating that you live in this like mansion?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like he would like the person that I'm thinking of was like my age, would like try to like make us like regular folk feel bad.
What?
About like that we didn't live in a mansion.
Oh my
and I'm
gosh.
like, and I would never say it, obviously, you know what I mean? But like, I would be upset about it. And my parents would be like, well, Jimmy, like, you know, we live within our means. Like, you know, we wouldn't be able to, if we lived in a house like that, like we wouldn't be able to go on vacation every year like we do. And we wouldn't be able to do this. So like some people just live differently. And that's like how my parents would like explain it to me, which is very nice of them.
Yeah.
I think it's not a flex.
No, that's
now that
definitely
I'm an adult,
not a flex.
I'm like, don't buy this huge house if you can't afford it. Like, I would not do that. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I mean.
No, that's definitely not a flex.
It's not even on topic.
Yeah, I think so. I definitely think it's not a flex.
Some of my other ones are closer to yours.
Oh, they don't have to be close. I like the duality of the things that we have chosen.
Okay, do you want to do the next one or do you want me to? Because my next one has me laughing. Go.
Wait, are you sure? You can go.
No,
okay.
you go.
Okay. I have so many on this list. Like, I feel like I could talk for an hour. Okay. Not listening or listening to certain podcasts or music. Okay. I wrote this down so long ago because literally like a year ago, I saw a TikTok of a girl being like, this is literally what she said, quote, "My biggest flex is that I've never listened to an episode of Call Her Daddy, and I don't think Alex Cooper is funny." Why is that your biggest flex?
Well, how do you not know that she's funny if you've never listened to an episode of Call Her Daddy?
So true. Also, why does it matter? Like, if I walked around priding myself being like, I've never watched Grey's Anatomy and I don't think it's good. Okay. Like, great. Why do you care? Like, why is that your biggest flex? I think your biggest flex should be like, you're a kind person. You're funny. You are nice to people. You go out of your way to like do good things. Why is your biggest flex that you never listen to Call Her Daddy? Yeah,
and you could find like something funny in everything that you watch. Like a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
I'm like, that
strange.
is literally not a flex. It's a podcast that people enjoy. Why would it be a flex to either listen to it or not listen to it? Another thing, I feel like people always say that about Taylor Swift. Like, my biggest flex is I've never seen the hype. And it's like, okay, that's fine. I don't see the hype of other artists, but I don't walk around like priding myself on it.
Agreed. And I think the Taylor hate has taken a backseat for now. I think people are like kind of waking up to it a little bit more than they used to.
Okay.
I do. Maybe it's because Kanye West is clearly a fucking asshole. But going back to the first one about like taking pride in not watching things, when I tell you that and this is why like when you bring up like movies and TV shows from like when we were younger, and I don't know them, it's because I genuinely was not like a screen kid at all. Like, and it wasn't like me making like a flex. It was like my mom would always be like, go outside. Like, you are not to be in this home. So I did not watch TV. Really, I watched Hannah Montana and Jersey Shore when I was younger.
Love, iconic.
Yeah, like that's why I'm so well-rounded. You know, Hannah Montana and Jersey Shore, that's all I watch. Genuinely though. Until COVID hit. When COVID hit is when I started actually watching TV.
Oh my God,
that's like when I first started tuning into TV. Like for real. Besides like the really young like cartoons, obviously like when we were really young, for the most part I didn't watch any TV until COVID hit.
That's
and
crazy.
I hate it now. Yeah, like I hate it because I enjoy watching TV so much now.
Yeah.
Like every night, like I'll throw on the TV. Like there's usually not a night that I don't watch like something like small. That's why I feel like the people that do those things, I'm like, you are keeping yourself from like experiencing or like learning something new or like learning to appreciate different like art forms. You know what I mean? Like I'm a reality TV buff till I die. Totally. But like I also love Euphoria and I love all these other ones like Schitt's Creek, like made me cry every episode. Abbott Elementary, love it to death. Like I have so many shows now that like I'm booked and busy, honey.
I love that.
And they bring me so much joy.
Yes.
And you find community in these shows that you watch. You know what I mean? Like Traders, I have my little Traders community.
Yeah.
we send voice notes and all, you know?
I love that. And I feel like when people are like looking for something to flex with, like instead of being like, oh yeah, I don't go on TikTok, or like I don't watch TV, I don't watch movies, like instead of like being proud about things you don't do that are just extremely normal and like inherently aren't like that dangerous or bad, why don't you just pride yourself on things that you do like doing and like things that you could encourage other people to do? Like, what do you do with your free time if you don't go on TikTok, if you don't watch movies or TV? Like, do you read? Do you play basketball? Like, do you do all these other hobbies? Like, instead, like, flex about that. Be like, oh my God, I read this amazing book. Like, I'm proud of myself for reading so much. Like, you guys would love it. Why are you so like, well, I don't do what you do, so I'm better than you? It's like, well, no, you're not, just because you don't do this like one thing that other people do. I just think not doing certain things like isn't the thing that makes you interesting. So yeah, like people walk around being like, well, I don't watch TV. Even in the Kardashians, there's like a conversation between Khloe and Kourtney where Kourtney's like, oh, I just don't watch TV. And Khloe's like, do you want an award? Like, you don't get an award to just not watch TV. Like, okay, don't watch it then.
Right.
Great.
Yeah, just do that.
Yeah.
One of mine, and I kind of feel, I don't know. Again, is this about me? Yum yuckers.
It's all about us.
Like, that's like a yum yucker type thing. Like, don't yuck my yum, you know?
Yes.
But also at the same time, like, I'm probably going to sit here and yuck a lot of people's yums.
Oh, yeah. That's how we do it.
Which is fine. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, to a certain, like, I'll yuck people's yums here. I wouldn't do it to them.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Because there's no reason for it.
Yeah. Like, I could be happy for people in the moment if that's their thing, like, whatever. But I'll also still, like, come on here and talk shit. Like, 100%.
Yeah.
I'll yuck everyone's yums over here.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do it to them, and I wouldn't like make them feel bad about it. Like, if that's your thing, then that's your thing.
No, so true. And I feel like that's perfect, because if someone wants to make a podcast where they talk shit on people that watch TikTok, watch the traders, like watch reality TV, go on Instagram, like go and wear cute outfits, like I'm literally naming the things that I do. If someone wants to make a podcast where they talk shit on all of those things, go and do it. Be nice to my face. Like, don't say any of that shit to my face. Because if you're going to talk shit about me, do it somewhere else. Don't waste my time with it. And I just won't listen to it because I get to consent to the things that I click on YouTube and the podcast app. And that's another reason why I fucking hate comments, because people leave hate comments and I'm like, you don't have to be here. Like, you clicked on the video. Like, just leave. Like, just click off, you know?
Yeah.
So if you don't want to hear about me talking about my pet peeve, don't click on the video that's called My Pet Peeves with my face big ass in the thumbnail. Just a small tip. Okay.
Tell us how you really feel.
But if they said it to my face, I would still be nice to them. Well, no, I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't need to walk up to someone and be like, I hate what you do. I can be like, oh, cool. Yeah, do your activity. And then I can sit here and be like, yeah, it's not my thing, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't think that's two-faced.
No, and I don't think that we shy away from criticism as long as it's not like baseless, below the belt criticism.
True.
I'm totally fine with being criticized. Totally good with that. But if you're going to criticize me, at least have like a little bit of like morality with it, and don't come for like, you know, things that don't matter.
Yes, so true. If you don't agree with what I said about the family drama situation, that's fine. Give me your take, which a lot of people do in the comments. Like, people leave comments all the time that are like, I don't think so. Like, I see it this way. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of facts. But if you just say you're ugly and annoying, I'm going to be like, all right, I'm blocking you.
I hate your
Why
voice.
would I want, or like people, literally, I hate your voice. I hate you. I'm like, okay, well then you're never going to see me again. Block. Why is that problematic?
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either.
Because that's just being mean. So.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, your next one.
Okay, to yuck the next person's yum.
To hate on the next person.
Literally. I wrote sourdough. That's all I'm saying.
Wait. I love sourdough.
Okay. It's the sourdough starter, people. Okay.
Oh my God. Why is this the biggest trend on earth?
It's the biggest trend on earth. And I'm so happy for the people that it is. I truly am. Kelee, my roommate, makes really great sourdough things.
Oh my God. That's so cool.
I feel like I'm starting to get shamed, though, by some other people that are making sourdough things on the internet. I'm like... And again, I get it. It's like a hobby, and I love that for people, that it's their hobby. But if I'm like, I am craving a bagel so bad, I don't need to be told, oh, do you have a sourdough starter? Oh, you can make sourdough starter bagels. Oh my God. With your discard. Oh, God. Yeah.
With what?
The discard. The stuff that you
that?
throw away from the sourdough because you have to throw some out and refeed it. It's a whole science. I respect that people are doing it. If I want a bagel, I want to go to the local shop and get a fresh baked bagel that I don't have to put an ounce of fucking thought into. I don't have to wait 24 hours and hit the dough and watch it rise and cover it back up over a warm oven. I don't give a shit about the sourdough shit, okay? I will even buy the Pepperidge Farm. I will go to Aldi. You know, we love the Aldi bagels. Me and Kelly are Aldi fans.
They're not good, but they're great at the same time.
They are shit bagels.
They're like 12 for like $2 though.
They cost nothing.
Yeah.
I don't have to think about it.
Yes.
The only thing I have to think about is when I'm eating it, like, this is...
Yes.
This isn't a great bagel.
That's so true.
But that's for me to deal with.
That's so true.
So that's my next one. And I don't mean to yuck the sourdough people's yum. But quit shaming me.
Don't push your starter on me.
Don't push feed your starter yourself.
Wait, ew, it's so disgusting that certain things are a lot. Like, do you ever think about, and I'm not trying to hate on yogurt because I just ate yogurt right before we recorded, but like yogurt is literally alive.
Oh, I can't think about it. I know. And that's what I mean. And people will, on TikTok, they'll like shake their starter and it's like, and I'm like,
but I love sourdough, so I will eat that shit. But I get it.
Until the sourdough starts eating you, because it's alive. That's what I'm saying.
Does it just keep growing forever?
Well, if you feed it, you have to feed it once a week and discard the rest, but then you can make stuff to discard. That's what I'm saying. There's a science to it. And I respect it. I really do respect it. But
that's insane.
Don't make me feel bad about not being a sourdough starter person.
Yeah, I'll try not to when I become one.
Sorry, I feel like I got really passionate there.
No, I'm going to get passionate about the next one.
Oh, do it.
Because this was someone in my actual life, but I'll just be really vague, even though there's no way they're ever going to listen to this. I knew a person who said things like, my dad's a doctor, so I've never been on a trampoline and I've never eaten a Pop-Tart. I'm like, yeah, that actually sucks. That actually sucks for you that you've never tried a Pop-Tart, because Pop-Tarts are so good and trampolines are so fun.
Yeah.
So why are you so proud? And my dad's a doctor, so we were never allowed to step foot on a trampoline. So sorry. I'm actually sorry for you.
Yeah, and trampoline parks are like cool now, so you're really missed out.
The house with the trampoline, that was the house that everyone wanted to be at. So it's less about the trampoline, it's less about the Pop-Tart, but just my dad's a doctor. Like, okay, and what are you? And what are you? A spoiled little brat.
No, literally, congrats. And like, yeah, I'm a trampoline survivor. I broke my collarbone.
Did you really?
Because my sister used to Rikishi bonsai me and send me flying to the damn moon like we were on the WWF. But
wait, the WWF,
I don't regret it.
The World Wildlife Fund? The
Wrestling.
WWE.
No, it was the WWF before it was the WWE. Yeah.
Wait, that's so
I was a WWF stan before it became the WWE. Yeah.
Wait, it's so funny that they had the same initials as the World Wildlife.
Where's the intern to fact check this? I
Kenny,
swear to God.
Kenny, can you come in here?
Oh, God, I think you went outside.
I'm sorry.
We got to get him off the books. So yes, I broke my collarbone. Yeah, because I would go flying. My sister and her friends would send me sailing. It built me. It built character.
Yes.
It's part of the house that built me.
Also, if you were walking around being like, oh, yeah, my dad's a doctor, so he really hated trampolines and I was never allowed to go on one, I'd be like, damn, I'm sorry. Like, they're not that fun.
Right.
I would be saying the opposite. But it's the fact that she's like, yeah, I've never done that. And I'm like, okay, like, so interesting of you.
That's a way to brag. Yeah.
And the Pop-Tart thing, I'm like, do you think this makes you more exciting?
Right.
The fact that you've never had a snack, this one specific snack, like, okay, I've probably never had a lot of things. Is it going to make me cooler? Like, no. Right. In fact, it probably makes you less interesting because you don't have the same experience that all of us have.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Do you like your Pop-Tarts warm or cold?
Okay, growing up, we never warmed them up. Just never thought to do that. But now if I think about it, I'm like, why did we not?
Yeah. I like them both ways, but
yeah, me too.
depending on like the mood, you know. But
what's your favorite kind?
the brown sugar cinnamon ones or whatever.
My best friend in grade school, that was hers, and she had that like every day. I love the s'mores one.
Oh, so
and
good.
then the chocolate chip one that doesn't have the icing on the outside. So fun. The ones without the icing on the outside, like the strawberry, not frosted, slaps. It's better than the strawberry frosted, in my opinion.
I disagree.
Really?
Yeah, I love this. The frosting like makes it for me.
I just love the inside, and like the cookie part is so good, just like alone. Oh, so good.
I haven't had a Pop-Tart in years.
I just had one.
The last time.
I just had the cinnamon one from Aldi. So good. So
I'm gonna have to get Pop-Tarts this week.
Yeah, they're really unhealthy, honestly.
You know what I used to love too? Toaster strudels.
Oh my God, toaster strudel. Wait, I had the weirdest interaction about toaster strudel. I'm not kidding. I remember when it was invented, when Gretchen Wiener's dad invented it. Okay, it became this like huge thing in our culture, and we never tried it. Like my mom never bought it. And then I would like beg my mom to buy it because I saw it on the ad and I heard everyone talking about it and whatever. Finally, we were at Target and my mom was like, okay, yeah, we can get it. We put it in the cart and this woman approached us. I literally remember this like it was yesterday. Like I can almost picture her and her daughter like to a T.
She was a yum yucker. Go.
No.
Oh, thank
the
God.
opposite. That's why it's bizarre.
Okay.
She came up to us and she's like, I just have to tell you that she was dead serious too. That product that she wasn't laughing. I just can't say this with a straight face. That product you have in your cart is so good. My kids love toaster strudel. It is so good. Like she was literally just going off about how amazing of a product strawberry toaster strudel was. And her daughter was like, Mom, come on, like, let's go. Like, she looked so annoyed. The daughter looked so annoyed, as if this is what her mom does, like, every time she sees a toaster strudel leave the shelf. And then they just walked away. And my mom, I forgot what my mom said. She was probably just like, oh, yeah, we've never tried it. Like, we're excited. Like, something like that, probably. And then they walked away, and I was like, was that the inventor of toaster strudel?
Who is that invested in the toaster strudel?
I was like, did you just buy, like, 18 million shares of toaster strudel? Because why are you pushing it so hard? But, like, it wasn't even like we were standing there being like, should we try this? I don't know. Like it was already in the cart. Like we made the decision to purchase it.
It was like thawing with her just standing there telling you how much she loved it.
Yes.
It's been in the cart for a while.
Yes. And I sometimes think about that and I'm just like, okay, but like kind of go off. Like
maybe we should start doing that to people at the store.
Like if you have that much of a passion about a product, like I love soft pretzels. I'm about to start going up to people in Wawa if I see them holding a soft pretzel and being like, the choice you've made today, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Like they slap and I'm really excited for you.
Do you know Erin made me appreciate soft pretzels a couple years ago?
Really?
Because she came to visit the one night and stayed overnight and brought soft pretzels as a snack, like the ones for the freezer. She left the soft pretzels. I was like, oh, I'll have one like, I don't know, that week I had one. It was like a little snack. I was like, do you ever go on like where you get so hooked on something and like every week you're buying that as your snack? I had soft pretzels as a snack for like almost a year straight.
Oh my God.
I don't think I ever told Erin that. And I would dip them in honey mustard.
Oh, they're so good.
So good. Yeah. No, we should start doing that to people. Next time. Okay, here's Kelly's assignment.
No.
Next time you're getting the Aldi bagels, we're going to have to plan a shore weekend because that's like when we really get the Aldi bagels, I feel like.
Yeah.
Next time you're at Aldi and you're getting the Aldi bagels and you see someone pick them up, you got to go up to them and be like, oh my God, aren't these the best bagels?
I have to call it this product because that's what she said.
Isn't this product the most mediocre bagel that you've ever had in your life?
But somehow it's the best.
You lather it in cream cheese, butter, jelly just to get over the fact that it tastes like cardboard.
They're gonna they're just gonna get their cart and like back out of the frame.
They're gonna put the bagel back.
Yeah, they would literally throw it back. No, because if someone came up to me now and said that, I would be like, what did you do to it?
I think I'd get like really hype. I'd be like, yeah, okay.
I would literally triple check to make sure that it hadn't been tampered with. I would be so alarmed.
Never a bad idea.
True. Okay, give me your next one.
Okay, so the one after the sourdough fiasco. Well, we already did it. Liking something first. Who the fuck cares? We already did that. So here's my next one. And now I don't mean to come at people from Jersey.
Uh-oh.
Never pumping your own gas after the age of like 20. These people from Jersey, that is like literally one of their flexes. They're like, oh, I've never pumped my own. Oh, I don't know how to pump gas. Are you not a fucking adult? You can't read the sign?
I just had this conversation on Sunday.
Have we all, like, I mean, granted, when I was a child, I was like, I loved pumping gas. So, like, that, and I was like,
Aww.
I still love
your parents let you do it?
Oh, yeah.
Kid? Oh.
God, don't get them arrested. But
there's no proof.
I still, like, a little bit, I'm like, love the smell of gas.
Oh,
so,
I
like,
love
as
the
a
smell of
kid, I was
gas.
like, oh, give me that shit. I'll pump that gas, Mom. Like, don't worry about it. It is cold out there. I got the gas.
That's so sweet.
She probably thought that, right? But really, I was like,
you just wanted to sniff of it. You just like put the thing in your mouth. No, I'm just kidding.
Literally. Again, I say 20 because I understand, like, the people that moved to Pennsylvania for college, they never did that. You know what I mean? Once you're 20 years old, you should be able to pump your own gas. Like, it should not be your niche thing. Like, oh, I've never pumped gas in my life. Okay, are you a child? Do you need your diaper changed? You can't read the damn sign and open up your fucking gas tank and put the thing in? Like, I don't know. It just, that one always irks me with people from Jersey.
I wouldn't be, like, annoyed if they didn't know how to do it, but the fact that people do walk around, like, proud of it. And also, just to clarify, if anyone doesn't know, in the state of New Jersey, the gas stations have attendants. So I think it's, like, illegal to pump your own gas in the state of New Jersey. An attendant does it for you, so you don't have to get out of your car. I don't know why that is. Is it, like, a safety thing?
Well, they're, like, one of the only states that's left. I think they used it for that maybe at one point, but then it changed, and I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, if someone was like, I don't know how to do that, I would be like, oh, no worries. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
You'll learn. But yeah, to walk around being like, I don't pump my own gas. And I used to work in a store down the shore in New Jersey, and there's like bumper stickers that say Jersey girl, and like Jersey girls don't pump their own gas. And I'm like, okay, that's a weird flex.
Right. Okay.
That's a weird flex.
I got one right. I got a weird flex right.
No, you said the other one was the same as mine, like the knowing people first. Or knowing things first.
No,
I totally
that
see
to
the
me,
thing about gas.
like, and I agree. Like, if you're willing to learn, that's fine. Like, you know,
yes,
we'll show you the way, but don't let that be like your thing that you're. Because have you met people that are like that? You've had me meet people like that are like that.
I honestly feel like it's more the women that would like come into this store that are just like Jersey girls at heart. That were like, extremely proud of it. But they weren't like, I don't know, I guess I didn't really think about it back then because I was just working there and I was like, oh yeah, haha, cute little sticker, $3. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I've actually never encountered someone like in my life that like said it to me. And I was like, you're annoying. Yeah. But, like the doctor thing like was said to me.
Yeah. Okay, well, I've encountered those people and I like every time I'd be like, okay. Great. Great. You want me to show you? Like, okay.
Yeah. Wait, I'll go off of that one.
Yeah.
Not knowing things. I've known multiple people who talk about how they have no idea who certain designers are, or like, I don't even know how to use social media. I've never heard of an actor or like a celebrity or a TV show or movie. Like, okay. Like, specifically, I remember this in high school. Like, a few of my friends would literally be like, oh my God, I don't know how to use Instagram. Oh, well, I guess Instagram that wasn't really a thing until like second half of high school. But like, I don't know who like any actor or actress is. Like, I've never heard of that singer. Like, I don't know what like Louboutin or like Louis Vuitton is. Like, what are, like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, you don't have to know, but like, why is it your whole personality? Like, why is it your whole personality that you've like never heard of a certain celebrity? Like, I don't go around being like, you know, I know who Patrick Dempsey is. Yeah, I know who he is.
Right.
Like, okay, uninteresting. And I also don't go around being like, I don't know who he is.
Right.
Uninteresting. Like, why? Yeah. I don't know. And then like the not knowing how to use like a certain social media, like, oh my God, like I just never post because like I don't even know how to use Instagram. Like, really? You don't know how to click an app and then click the plus icon and then hit confirm? Like, it's actually weirder that you can't figure this out.
Yeah.
Like, you're 21 years old. I feel like you should be able to know, like, I'm talking in college now. You're in college, like you've gotten into college, you've applied, you've been granted admission. Not everyone can say that, but you don't know how to open Twitter and make a tweet? Like, why is that fun?
Right.
I don't know.
No, I agree with that. And like, well, is this about me? Kelee, are you talking about me right now?
Yes.
Kelee
I'm literally
Kelee
picturing.
Kelee will text me and be like, what do you think about this? And I'm like, I'm not the one to ask. Like, I don't know anything about Instagram, TikTok, the YouTube. I don't know anything about it. Or I don't say I don't know anything about it. I say I'm not good at it. Because I think some people are just like really good at it, but I have everything. I've just accepted defeat. That like it's just like not something that's like a strength of mine. But I understand what you mean. And there like where there are some people that will refuse to participate at all in it because they're like, I don't know how to do it. Like I don't know. And I'm like, well, you could try.
Yes.
Like just try. Like you could learn, right? I might not be the best at posting and have the most aesthetic posts ever. I know I don't. I use like social media a lot of times, like my own journal. Yeah. And I'm just like, whatever, what I post is what I post. It's for my friends. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I like know that. But that's why it's like for a certain audience. You know what I mean? But the people that are like you said, where they just will not try.
It's almost like the thing with the. Sorry, I totally cut you off.
No, you're good.
It's like the thing with the gas you were saying. It's like they want you to like do it for them. Mm-hmm. Like the people that I'm thinking of. Not that it's a specific person, but it's like, oh well, I don't know how to use Uber. Okay, so like for every single time that we go out, I have to call it. I have to call it there and home and any bar hopping we do, if we go somewhere else. I have to do it every single time because you don't know how to use the app.
That
like
grinds my
it's more
gears.
like that, I guess. Like I guess social media is the bad example, but like I guess when it comes to social media, it would be like if we're like taking photos of each other, like oh I'll take the most banging photo of you, but then when I'm like, can you just take one of me? It's like I'm really not good at taking photos, and I'm like, okay, well I just spent so much time taking photos of you for free, and you can't even attempt to take a photo of me because you're not good at taking photos. And then the thing about like calling a car, they're like, I don't know how to do that. I'm like, okay, well, learn. Because, like, it's not going to be on me every single time we hang out forever because you don't know how to do something. So now I have to do everything for you.
Oh, yeah, especially when money's involved. Because I've had friends with Venmo in the past, too, where they were like, I don't want to, like, connect Venmo, blah, blah, blah. And, like, I get wanting to protect your personal information, whatever. Yeah. At this point, like, Venmo's just, like, accepted, right? Like, whatever. And if not, like, Cash App, whatever you believe in that you want to use, like, get on board with it. Like, you kind of have to. You know what I mean? Like, there's no excuse. And then you put people out of money. So it's like, no, fuck that. Like, I'm not.
I had friends that when Venmo first came out, like I also was like slower to get it because like it is scary. Like you're connecting your bank account to this app that you've never heard of. But like it gets to the point where putting your credit card or whatever into Venmo is the same as putting your credit card into Amazon or PayPal. Like it's the same thing. Like you just have to be realistic, and like it's not like it's this shady app. Everyone has it except you. And so don't hand me like $4.38 in cash and change when I just want you to Venmo me. Like and that's another, like I don't know, I guess that's a whole different other topic, but it's like the people that are like scared to do certain things because they're like, I don't know how that works. It's like, okay, well, open a news article and read about PayPal and learn, because you're making everyone's life, aka my life, harder.
Yeah, and I love PayPal.
Yes, me too.
PayPal's
it makes me buy so many. I just was talking to Aaron about this because we were talking about, someone was like, I don't want TikTok to have my credit card information. I'm like, yeah, I probably don't either. But the fact that you can use PayPal to buy things makes me buy more things.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
Like, oh, well, it's safe.
PayPal protects you. Totally.
Yeah.
I feel like PayPal is like gold standard.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not. I think
feel
it
like,
is.
no, it's very trustworthy, I think.
Yeah.
Because you can all like.
Because they like encrypt or whatever they do.
Yeah. And like if you don't get your product, like they have good like customer service, I think.
Yeah. Period. That was good. Yeah, I agree with that. Ghosting people after going on a date and like bragging about it. Like the people that brag about ghosting people that they've gone on dates with, I just think you're a mean person.
Yeah.
So ghosting to me, that's why I put in the caveat after going on a date. If you're talking to someone on like an app for like a day and you're like, I don't know, I don't think that this is it, and you just like let it go. It wasn't that deep, right? Whatever. If you go on a date with someone, unless they're like harmful to you in some way, if it's just like, you know, I don't think that we vibed or whatever, like I just feel like don't be mean and just like let them know and just be like, hey, like it was nice meeting you. I don't really think that this is, you know what I mean, for me, whatever. But I hate that like there are people that will go around and be like, oh yeah, like went on that date, like I will never, like I'm not even answering that text. And I'm like, that's not nice.
Yeah.
Like that's not a flex. That's like mean girl behavior to do that. I feel like
there's so many instances like that in like modern dating. Yeah, I totally feel you. Like I get it if like neither of you ever text each other again, but like if they text you back, Yeah.
Yeah, if it's a mutual, like, I think we both are on the same page, like, let's just leave it there. But if they text you and are like, hey, it was really nice meeting you, like, we should get together again, you should at least text them back and be like, it was nice meeting you too, like, I'm sorry, like, I don't really, like, see us as, you know, compatible.
Totally.
And, like, I think that's very respectful. I just, like, I hate that. I don't know. That makes me sad for people.
No, I agree. I had something similar, but not exactly, I guess, but just like a dating example. One of my like overall not the flex you thought it was is people that are like, I never do this. And a dating example I had is, oh, I never take girls on actual dates. Like, you're really lucky. Or like, I never take this seriously. And it's like, why does you not putting in effort, like, why do you think that impresses me? Or like, you not being a good person, or like you not having the like emotional maturity to tell someone the truth, why is that like impressive?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I agree with you.
No, I agree. It goes back to Brene Brown. We talked about it, clear as kind.
Yes.
It's not kind to like lead people on like that and like waste their time, because at the end of it, you're wasting other people's times too, not just your own. You know what I mean? And that's coming from me who, for a lot of like the dating app thing, you know what I mean? Like, I've been the type of person that's like, I always forget to check it. I know that I'm not good at it. Like, I was like that for like a long time, where like I was on the dating apps and I just like was like, I don't really care to leave the house this week. Yeah. And like, I don't want to go on a date. So I'm just like gonna not check the app for the week. You know what I mean? But now I like have a new lens on it. And I feel like if you want that, or if you don't want it, like, you should put effort into it if you're doing it. You know what I mean? And that's, you know, we all go through phases where we're like, oh, I want to delete the app for a little bit. Like, I just need to like not go on dates for a little bit. Like, I get that part of it. But if you're on there actively talking to people, like, don't waste people's time.
Yeah, I agree. Oh my God, there's so many in dating, but I strayed away from it. I'll use my I never do this example for like friends. And I actually just saw a TikTok that was so relevant to what this one is. But when people are like, I never go out, so you should do anything you can to make it work when I choose to go out. Like, that is backwards to me. I saw this TikTok that was like the friend in your friend group that never goes out, and then the one time she decides to go out, she like forces everyone else to, and she's like, yeah, let's go, and then gets to the bar and is like miserable and is like, what time are we leaving? But
everyone knows a person like that too.
I feel like that happens so often when people don't go out, and then they're like, but come on, like, I never do this, like, let's go. And it's like, well, yeah, you never do this, so like, you should work around my schedule. Like, I always do this, so like, why don't you pick one of the like 30 times that I go out, instead of me having to like arrange my whole schedule to make your one day of the year work. Whereas like, I do this activity all the time. Like, you could meet up with me anytime, but now you're mad that I didn't come out the one time that you did. Yeah. I think I talked about that on like a pet peeves episode of the podcast before.
Yeah, no, but I agree with that. You know what I mean? Because it is when they expect you to kind of go out of your way then. Yeah. Yeah, that does happen a lot, I think. Okay, I have two that kind of go together. Bragging all the time about the amount of alcohol or drugs you could handle. Yes. / people that brag about driving recklessly.
Oh my God, yes.
So I feel like they're kind of intertwined, right?
Yes.
In some ways. So bragging about the alcohol and drugs you could handle, like, I just will never understand it. I never have. I don't think I ever will. Yeah. I drink. That's fine. Like, I'll go out and have a good time. There are nights that I'll like have one too many. You know what I mean? Like, it's good. I've never been someone that would be like, oh my God, yeah, like I could pound that 12 pack and like go to the bar and get like another 6. Like, and I could just keep going like, are you proud of that? Yes. Like, is that really like, I don't know about that. Like, yes. I don't know that I'd be telling people that.
I feel the same way.
I just like hate that.
I have always felt that way. Like, even when you would hear about drinking in like high school and college, and like, I don't know, I just feel like it was always like a trope in like college. Be like, I can drink more than you, and like, I can drink all this and like not feel anything. I'm like, that actually sucks. Like, if you can get drunk off of one drink, that's like the best place to be in. Yeah. Because then you only have to spend $15. You don't have to like drink all these calories that are terrible for you. And like, alcohol in general is not good for you. Right. So like, if you can feel your best of the night on just a few drinks, like, shouldn't we be jealous of lightweights?
Yeah, no, I know.
They actually have it best.
Yeah, and that's why I think I love like getting older. Like I've so much like more found an appreciation for like just having a couple drinks and like getting a little buzz on. Like I'm happy, blah blah blah. And I'm also like waking up at 7:30 the next day, and I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and I'm not hungover.
Yeah,
and I could have the whole next day to do whatever I want to do. I mean, granted, like I think I like get the worst hangovers of like a lot of people. Like so, I just like don't drink that much anymore because of the hangover part of it. But I'm no lightweight. Like I know that I'm not a lightweight like at all. I'm definitely not, but I don't go around bragging that I could like drink like all these like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It blows my mind. And then the driving recklessly, like the second part of it. One, people that brag about driving drunk. I don't care who it is. Taylor Allison Swift could say it to me. I'd be like, you are dumb. I'm totally fine telling anyone to their face.
Yeah.
You are stupid if you drive drunk.
I
like
would
you
lose
are dumb.
All respect for someone.
That's what I mean. Like I just think it's so dumb. Like it is literally putting other people's lives at risk, putting your own life at risk, everything. Like there's access to so many ride sharing apps now. They're not expensive. Like Ubers anywhere are not expensive. If Uber's up, check Lyft. Do the wait and save 15 minutes. Like maybe you'll sober up a little bit anyways. Like it's just like there is no need at all. Same for people that are like, oh yeah, like I don't get out of the left lane. Like I fly on the highway. I'm like, great. Like there are speeding laws for a fucking reason. So you don't kill yourself or other people. Like again, not a flex. And people that are like, oh, like I don't slow down through like construction zones. That one really gets me mad because my dad worked for PennDOT, like which is like the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation. Like they do all the road work and everything like that. And I know people who he has worked with who have gotten like really injured, like almost died.
Yeah, and people are killed like that all the time.
Yeah, in like construction zones or work zones. And I'm like, it's like rather than going 70 or going 55 for like a 3-mile stretch, it might save you 20 seconds. Yeah. If you go 70 rather than 55. Like why are we in a rush to go nowhere?
I hate when people are like, oh yeah, I drive like 100 through like a neighborhood. And I'm like, okay, like what if a child like was chasing their basketball into the street?
Right?
Like, are you going to be like flexing on me? After like I feel like so many people say that like, oh yeah, I hit 150 on the highway. I'm like, okay, great, good to know. When I think about all of my loved ones driving on the highway, I'll be thinking about you. Yeah. So thank you so much for giving me anxiety, and not even just anxiety, but literally putting yourself and everyone that I love and everyone on the road in danger. Like it is not a flex to drive like that.
No, it like blows my mind when people like brag about that. Like it really does. And I get like people that enjoy driving fast cars. I think that's like a cool hobby for you. Go do it on like a racetrack. Like there are places that you go to do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like I will just never understand the people that do it. Yeah. When I first got my license, I remember I thought I was such a good driver and like drove so fast, and looking back, I'm like, you were so fucking stupid, and like you're lucky that nothing happened, and like I didn't get pulled over, like literally kill someone with the way that I used to drive, probably. Like, ugh. Yeah. It's so bad. And if I'm in the car with someone that's driving like that, I'm a
holding
narc.
On.
Well, I'm holding on and I'm a narc. I'm like, what? Like, yo, like you got precious cargo over here. Slow the hell down.
That's such a good line.
Like, yeah. And if I were to be dating someone and they drove like that, that'd be an ick immediately for me. Like that would be a total deal breaker if they drove like that, because I just like don't understand it.
I hate it. I would. No.
So
I hate getting in cars with people that drive like that. Right. Like I would actually rather, like, if we were going on like an 8-hour road trip, like I will drive myself.
Same. Yeah, I always offer to drive. Most times I'll offer to drive. Yeah. Because I just like have like that fear, and I've never been, knock on wood, I have never been in like any type of accident, and like I have like such a fear. Yeah. Like I don't want to experience that. You know what I mean? Well,
I mean, it's not like it's a good way to like always be like scared of getting in an accident, but like you need to be aware. Yeah, like anything can happen at like any moment. Like it's dangerous to drive. Like it's not cutesy and like cool to drive recklessly. Right. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, my dad, when I like was learning how to drive, he always was like, I played basketball, so he was always like, think of driving as playing defense all the time. Like you need to be a defensive driver all the time. When you're driving, you're looking at that person, that person, that person. He's like, you should be looking at the car 4 cars ahead of you while you're looking at the car 1 car ahead of you. You know what I mean? And that's how I drive, because I'm like, but
that's such a good point. If only everyone taught their kids like that.
Right? For real.
Okay. Never having used TikTok or refusing to use TikTok. So once again, I don't think it's weird or bad if you don't use it, but to pride yourself on not using it and to like flex on people as if like never having used TikTok and I never will is like so exciting. Like the way that people talk about TikTok now is the same way that people used to talk about Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And now they are so normal. And like, if someone said like, oh yeah, I've never used Facebook and I never will, people would be like, oh, okay. Like, I mean, cool. Like, why? It's not like it's a bad thing. It's just a neutral thing. And if you were walking around flaunting your shit, being like, yeah, I've never used Facebook. I never even touched that shit. I never will. People would be like, why do you put so much passion into Facebook? Like, whether you use it or not. You know?
I agree. And I think that there's a difference between, like, I have a friend who he genuinely, like, cannot get TikTok because he's like, I will spend hours. Like, I know that I don't have the control.
Oh, I've heard
so he
many people like
refuses to
that.
download.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's totally different.
Yes.
He's not
agreed.
someone that's like, I don't do TikTok. Like, that's like,
as if it's like below you.
Yeah. He's not like that at all. He's like, I know I would eat that shit up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And like, I would not have a job. Like, that's how he is. So that's, I think that it's a lot different. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I could respect that even more. I'm like, I should learn from you.
Yes.
But you know what I mean? But he's not trying to put anyone else down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually set limits on my phone.
Me too.
And it's very helpful actually.
It's helpful until I'm like, ignore it until the rest of the day. Some days I'm just like, whatever.
I let myself ignore it on TikTok. I literally just did it like a week and a half ago, but I let myself ignore it on TikTok over the weekend or like really late at night if I'm like gonna go to bed in like 30 minutes anyway. I'm like, okay, whatever. But I haven't ignored it for Instagram. Well, I realized I was spending way too much time on my phone, and then Rebecca sent me this voice message about like, you have to stop talking about things and just do them. And I was like, shit. I like slapped myself across the face a couple times and I was like, put the fucking limit on. Sorry, that was so dramatic.
No, that's
but
true.
I put it on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And then I was like, why the fuck do I even have Facebook on my phone? So I deleted that because I'm like, that's just pointless. So I deleted that. And now I have it for TikTok and Instagram. And it's an hour total, which probably is even too much. But sometimes I set my phone down while it's open. And then I'm like, I forget about it. So yeah, but Instagram is so boring anyway and like unfulfilling that I don't even care. I'm like, I should have set like a 10-minute limit on this like years ago.
Yeah.
TikTok is just so entertaining. Like, I just get like, instead of watching like a movie, I will literally just watch TikTok for an hour. It's so entertaining.
I know, but I'm reading a book right now that's about No. I'm not yum yucking. Well, maybe I am because I feel like I'm on my phone too much and I feel like my attention span is dying.
Oh.
And it's all about that and how like the like psychological like and behavioral aspects of TikTok and like why it's like addictive and like how you get like permanent reward every single time that you're swiping to another video.
It literally does feel good. Yeah. Like you like feel it in your like brain.
Yeah. And but like, I didn't get to the part where how you fix it. So
oh shit. Okay, yeah.
I tried to fix it myself with the hour a day and I just ignore it till the end of the day.
Tell me how to fix it once you get there. Maybe I should read the book. I actually feel like the limit is really helpful. I want to get an app on my phone for books so that I can easily open something productive on my phone instead of going to like a social media.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, we'll see if it happens.
I know. Well, it takes a lot of self-control too. And that's where I'm like, oh, it's a little addictive because it takes self-control to be like, okay, my time limit's up for the day. I would genuinely delete TikTok off my phone. I feel like I'm like having a battle with TikTok right now in my head. But I have so many cooking, I sound so old. I just have so many cooking videos on TikTok.
Yeah.
So many of my recipes come from TikTok that I don't want to delete the app because I'm like, I have all these good recipes that I refer to. You know what I mean? Like, but now that makes me want to buy a recipe book. So that's what I might buy myself for my birthday.
Fun.
Recipe book. Yeah.
Or like make your own. Type all those out on like Canva and like put them in like a cute little like print them out.
I know. Well, I was even gonna write them. Like I have my grandma's recipe book. Like my one grandma and her apple walnut cakes in there, and like I love that we have it handwritten. So I'm like, I should do that.
Yeah, you should get like one of those pretty. I feel like they make them like beautiful books, and it's all like blank lines and stuff.
That's what I'm thinking I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
with like little postcards or whatever. But,
yeah.
Okay, I only have two more.
Okay.
Dads who don't change diapers.
Oh my god.
It's literally literally your kid. Same for other household tasks. Like, oh no, yeah, my wife does the laundry. Like,
Yeah.
maybe it's me being a man hater, but just in general, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That bothers me. Okay, we don't have to spend a lot of time. I think everyone has to agree with that, right?
I think so.
Should I do my next one or do you want
Yeah.
to go? I'll just finish it up. Being from a specific generation and claiming it's better for like XYZ.
So true.
I get like so annoyed by that one sometimes because I'm like, really? Like, and I mean, granted, yeah, my generation, like we lived through 9/11, the Iraq war, like we got it all going on here, like whatever, like maybe our times haven't been the best or whatever, but I feel like people are always like that. And I'm just like, can't we all appreciate the time that we grew up in for what it was?
Yeah.
Like, I think we all have different experiences from the time that we grew up and like they're all valid and fine and whatever. I could not help when I was conceived.
That's
I couldn't help when I was
point.
born. Like, whatever. Like, you really want to like brag on me about that? Like, or bag on me about, you know, whatever, that I'm like a millennial. Okay, great. Yeah, I'm a millennial. Do I have the millennial pause? 100%. That's why I don't make TikTok. Okay. Some things I'm not great at. I am not bragging. Like, I'm not like I can't stand Gen Z, but like, I never do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are things that I'm like, oh, but it's not my whole thing. It's not my whole aura. I'm like, that's not a flex.
I also think it's so easy to like idealize the past and be like, oh, well, when we were growing up, everyone played outside. Like, yeah, that's great, but it doesn't mean life was perfect. And like, it doesn't mean that that's necessarily not the playing outside, but like my dad, he and his friends and his brothers, they would ride bikes literally to places that take like an hour to drive to. Like there have been times growing up where we're driving to some like random place and he'd be like, oh my God, we used to ride our bikes out here. And it literally, we just drove in a car for 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, imagine how long it would take a child to bike there and not take the fastest way. Like they would do anything. But also it was a different time. Like the world was a vastly different place. So it's probably really easy to look back and be like, damn, those are the days when like kids just would go out for 8 hours and come home for dinner. And as long as they were home for dinner, like they were fine. That's just not reality anymore. And like, it's great that that was able to take place. And like, they probably had a really, really cool childhood. So many adventures. You just cannot do that anymore. Like, it's just not realistic. So like, why? I feel like parents almost get the hate for it when they're like, oh, well, parents just let their kids sit inside and play video games all day. Like maybe they literally just don't live in a safe neighborhood and they're scared to let their kids go outside.
Right.
Like, isn't that actually sad? Like, I'm sure that a lot of parents probably are just like, do whatever the fuck you want. Like, I need like a break and I can't force you to go outside. If you're going to shut the fuck up while you're playing video games,
Literally.
Just do it. I get that is also true, but like, I don't know. I just feel like we can't be like, well, we should just do what we did before. Because like, how would the world ever change and progress if we just always do exactly what we did before? The whole point of like moving on and like progressing in society and culture is that like in theory and hopefully like everything we do a little bit better than the last one.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's not always true. Like, yes, playing outside is probably better for your mental health and physical health probably too than sitting and playing video games as soon as school gets out. But like, that doesn't necessarily mean that like the parents are doing something wrong or that we should like revert. Like, I don't know. I just feel like there's so much criticism rather than like encouragement when it comes to like parenting like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. And like, I mean, I work in schools, you know what I mean? I hear what the kids say, and like some of their parents are like working late and working 2 jobs, whatever. Like they can't get a ride to play with their friends. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so in some ways I feel like the new things, like with the video games and stuff like that, like they're able to connect, like they share usernames for Roblox or Fortnite or whatever, and they're able to play. Like so many kids that typically wouldn't hang out outside of school get to connect with each other at home are now able to do that. And they're able to talk to each other and do things that way. Sure, does it come along with like the bullying and like the crazy, scary dark web and like all of that? 100%. But similar threats were out there when our kids were walking home when the streetlights were on. You know what I mean? So it's just a different type of problem. You know what I mean? And if we always look at that and not at like the positives of what these things could do, like it gets people connected, for me, that's fine.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you could be happy when you were born. I'll be happy when I'm born. I feel like no, I can't. I'm literally about to say what I'm saying is not a flex.
Wait, what? Our generation is the best.
I was going to say, no, well, what I was going to say is I think that I have this view because I feel like we grew up right before technology was huge.
Yes.
But we grew up enough that we're competent to understand and accept and utilize technology in a good way.
Yeah.
But it wasn't something that, like, as a child, I didn't have my first phone until I was like, I don't even know. You know what I mean? Like, we had one computer for my entire house and you could not pretty much use it because it was dial-up and my mom would be on the phone. And as soon as you picked up the phone, the internet would go on. Like, you couldn't be on the phone if the internet was on. So we weren't allowed to do that. Like, if my parents were expecting a call, you couldn't be on the internet because the call wouldn't go through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why I think that my view on it is different. But that's not saying that I'm like, I grew up in the best generation ever. It's just I think that's why I can understand both sides a little bit more. You know?
I actually do think that we grew up, like, we were really, really lucky in the time that we grew up because it was like that transitional time. Like, we have experience with technology and without it. But it's, not that it's a flex. But I do think we are so lucky with that because I do think about, like, now kids, like, it's so crazy seeing my cousin's kids and, like, they are always like, oh, take a picture and, like, take out your phone, like, immediately, like, look things up or, like, just taking pictures of everything. Like, taking pictures even just, like, used to be this, like, almost like a special thing. Whereas now we can just take so many pictures all the time. And, like, that's a good thing. But I don't know. It's just so interesting seeing how they think, like, the world is. Obviously, they're, like, so young, so they don't even have, like, a, like, understanding of this yet. But the fact that that hasn't always been how it is so crazy. Like, I remember in college, one of my professors was telling us about when the internet was invented. Somebody knocked on her door and was like, hey, like, this new thing, it's called the internet. Do you want it? Here's what it is. She's like, oh, no, I don't need that. Thanks, though. And it's just, like, crazy. Like, when we were growing up, computers existed. I thought, oh, computers always existed, you know, cars always exist. Like, it's so interesting to think, like, these kids are going to get older and then they're going to be like, oh, wow, phones didn't used to exist. Like, they don't even know what it's like to not have, like, an iPhone in your back pocket 24/7.
I know.
Or, like, their parents, you know.
Yeah, I know. And I remember, like, I used to get, like, the smartphones and they would just run out of minutes after, like, a day.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Like, the track phones. Not the smartphones, the track phones.
Yeah.
Remember those?
Yeah,
and
where
I
you
loved, like,
paid
playing
for...
Snake on it. But
that game was so fun, Snake, on that old phone. Yes. But also, like, it's funny, too, because when people hate on, like, this generation for being on their phones so much, what, like, our parents' generation, when they were our age and they weren't on phones, there was something that they were getting hated on. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was, like, driving around too much in their cool new car. Like, for us, they hate on us for using the internet and phones. Like, for our kids, they're going to have inventions, like, in 25 years that I can't even dream up right now. Maybe in, like, 5 years, it's going to be VR. Oh, all our kids, they always have that VR headset on. In 25 years, it's going to be something else that someone very smart is going to invent. In 50 years, it's going to be another thing. Like, everyone hates on this new invention until it becomes the norm. And that's true with literally everything, including cars, because before cars, people said, oh, well, we don't need cars. We have a horse and buggy. Before planes, they said, we don't need planes. We have boats. Like, everything was hated on, and then it became the norm.
Right.
So just get the fuck over it.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's like, it's 100% true. Yeah, and the internet is such a relatively new thing.
Yeah.
Like, it really wasn't invented. I mean, I'm not quoting a year. I'm not doing that, but it's relatively new.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it has not been around that long. Technology has literally exploded before our eyes. You know what I mean? Like, and a little bit before us, obviously, too. But technology is a word that's like, there's new technology. You know what I mean? Like, it's ever changing.
Yes.
So, like, our idea of technology is a lot different than, like, technology that was used to build the first car.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it's going to change, and you just have to accept that. So don't flex on me with your generation.
Yeah. With your, I read a book. I'm like, yeah, that's great. And then every year we make knowledge easier to attain. And, like, why are you mad at me? Because I have easier access to this thing that your generation literally worked so hard to create. Like, people in the older generations worked so hard to create the internet and give us this ease of access. And now you're mad at me for using this ease of access. Like,
well, I think too, but some people like that, it scares them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it definitely scares me
like,
too.
Yeah, I know. But, like, in some ways, it's like our eyes are opened to so many things that we would have never known about. And it helps, like, for me, least, I feel like I feel a lot more well-rounded because I do have access to be able to do that now. Goes along with the critical thinking discussion we had last time I was here. You have to be able to like weed that out. You know what I mean? Of like what's true and what's false, because there you could go down like very deep parts of the internet. I have not, but I know that people have. You know what I mean? That like they just like go like, and that part's scary. But at the same time, like there could be like what's looked at as like censorship now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, we don't want this. And it's like, well, it's out there. You should learn about it.
Going off of that, I feel like I see so many, this is just irrelevant to the topic now, but it's so funny that like adults and like our parents when we were growing up, they're like, be careful on the internet. Not everything you see is real. Not everything you see is true. And then there's so many memes now that are like, your parents will tell you, and like older generations will tell you, do not believe everything you see, but they see the most clearly edited AI image of like a sunset and they're reposting it like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. But I do think that it is getting to the point where people, it's very hard to distinguish sometimes between AI and real, and it's scary.
No, I agree 100%.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared of AI, although it is like an amazing resource and tool. But it's very scary thinking about like deep fakes and stuff, and like they can make anyone look like anything, and yeah, just crazy.
No, I agree.
But
it's scary.
I do kind of feel like it saves your ass a little bit because like, let's say you had a scandal. Sorry.
Oh my God.
This is like sorry.
You're blaming it on AI.
Yeah. You're like, actually, I didn't say that highly controversial, like bad take. That was AI. And you could be like, I didn't release my own nudes. Okay, that was AI.
And then you
just
have,
like blame it on AI.
Literally.
Regardless.
And then you have Kate Middleton who's photoshopping her own pics.
Yeah.
Girl, you could have got AI to do that for you. Where's Kate?
So weird.
But
so
yeah,
weird.
I don't know. It's just crazy.
Yeah. I have like a few more. I can say them kind of fast. Okay. First one, Jimmy, this is not about you.
Kelly's coming at my neck tonight.
Yeah. I'm like holding a knife. This is not about you.
Yeah.
Getting up early. No, you don't flex on it though. So when Jimmy comes down to our shore house, like he doesn't wake up everyone else. He doesn't flex. He just actually leaves and goes like to the beach. Yeah, but that's so cute and sweet and fun. I wish I was a morning person. But my example is especially the people who work out early and they won't let you forget it. In my opinion, it's just as impressive to go to the gym at 6 p.m. as it is to go to the gym at 6 a.m.
It 100% is. It's like whatever fits you and your lifestyle and whatever habits you can make.
Yeah.
Go whenever you could go. Yeah, 100%. I agree.
Do feel like people that work out in the morning, like they get so much clout and like praise. And then if you're like, yeah, I work out at 9 p.m., 9 to 10, and then I go home and go to bed, people would be like, oh, cool. It's like, why? Why does the timeline of my workouts affect your judgment of me?
No, I totally agree. And I'm honestly someone that like on the weekend, now during the week, I have to get up early because I need to for work or whatever. Like I need to for my brain to be ready to work. Yeah. Like I feel like I'm not like the best speech therapist unless I wake up at 6 a.m. and I start work at like 8:30. I just like need that time to wake up. But I am honestly jealous of the people that could sleep in on the weekend. Like I wish that my body was able to recognize that it's the weekend and allow me to sleep in. I just can't. It sucks.
I sleep all the time, or I could sleep all the time, but I'm like such a night person that I feel like I'm never tired at night. But if I don't set an alarm, like sometimes I'll listen to podcasts and they'll be like, yeah, I slept in. I woke up at like 9 o'clock. And I'm like, 9 o'clock?
That would be amazing for me.
But that's like, I mean, that's not early for me. For a weekend, it would be though. Like I get up sometimes at 9 o'clock on work days. But then here's the thing, like I'm self-employed. So like a lot of times I pick my own hours and I work whenever I want. So then if I were to tell people like, oh yeah, I get up at 10:30. I mean, this isn't like necessarily true, although sometimes I do accidentally turn my alarm off and in my sleep and wake up like super late. But if I were to tell people like, oh yeah, I sleep in until 11, and which I feel like I'm embarrassed because I'm making it seem like I actually do. I do not. But if I did, I feel like if I was like, oh yeah, I get up at 11 a.m., I start work at 12, I work from 12 to 8 or 12 to 9. I go to the gym 9 to 10, and then I go home and go to bed. Wouldn't people be like, you're so lazy, you sleep until 11? But then if I was like, oh, I get up at 7, I work till 3, and then I go to the gym till 4, and I go to bed at 6. people would be like, wow, how do you do it?
Yeah.
Like,
no, I agree.
Why does it matter what time I'm productive?
I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
So anyway, I wish I was a morning person.
And I wish I wasn't.
Everyone wants what they can't have.
Yeah.
One more. This is kind of like, this could be a whole nother episode, and maybe it will be. But working all the time and not having any free time and just stressed all the time because of how busy people are. Like when people are like, I'm so busy, like I can't even breathe. I'm a wedding photographer in addition to being a full-time podcaster. And like the people that shoot 75 weddings a year and like go and preach about it, like I actually don't know anyone that does this, because I feel like I've reached a level where everyone at this level is like kind of realized like you cannot shoot 75 weddings and have every single one of them be to the level that it should be. This is in my opinion, and with everyone I know, honestly, too. But to preach and be like, if you want to make 6 figures, like shoot 75 weddings a year and like don't take a weekend off. And but I would not want that. If I'm hiring someone to shoot my wedding, I would want them to be like, oh yeah, I shoot like 20, 30 weddings a year. Like they're all like a huge project to me. Like I spend a lot of time doing them. Like if I'm hiring someone, I do not want the person that's like, oh my God, I'm so busy. I'm booked all the time, 24/7. It's hard to get a call with me. I'm like, no. I want the person that limits the amount of work they take so that I know that they can focus on me and they're not like overbooking themselves all the time. Also, I'm not jealous of people that don't have time to breathe because all they do is like take another client call and then like are so proud about that. It's like, that is not what I want.
No, me either.
So like that's great for you, but anyway, sorry. Go on.
No, yeah. No, I'm sorry. I don't mean to like interrupt either. Like I like enjoy having time to do nothing.
Yeah.
It's like important to me. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I used to be someone that like would want to grind like all the time and like have to always be doing something. And it gets to a point where it's like so exhausting and it's not fun for anyone. Yeah. Like I don't know how people do that. And I feel like you have to value, obviously there's more than just the money part of it. You know what I mean? But like you should really value other things in your life outside of work.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people that do that too are lost in other ways. So they try to like fill their time with just working all the time. But it's not like something that you could do all the time. Yeah. I don't know. It's just like, I agree. That's not a flex.
Yeah. I also think that like in the past few years, there has been way more of like the conversation about like giving yourself time and like not saying yes to every single thing, especially since COVID, honestly. I feel like that's when I saw like a shift in it. And I'm talking more about like how people talk about work online. Because I don't know, I really feel like when I was in college and like right after college, everyone would just be like a business coach and like preaching about how like take more work and like here's how to be busier and like busy, like you're lucky to be busy. Like I'm so proud to be busy. Like I want to be like just full. Like I want my schedule, my work schedule to be like, this is how much work I want, you know? Like I don't want to be like so busy all the time. Like during my busy season, like that's not the time that I'm like looking forward to. Not looking forward to, because that's a bad way to say it, but like in my busy season when I'm like killing it and like every day like have something going on, that's like the hardest part of the year. And then when that ends, I'm like, whoo, I did it. Like I'm so excited to just like not do anything this weekend, you know? Yeah. But like how could people do that all the time? Like I just don't believe that you can have a busy season 365 days of the year and still be like at the same level for all those days. Like you need to take a break.
No, I agree 100%. I feel like for me, at least now, I found like where I feel fulfilled enough in my work that I don't have to be doing it all the time or feeling like I'm having to do it all the time. I also think that I totally like this topic. I feel really strongly about because I don't think that I could be the speech therapist that I am if schools were in school all year round. Like without having summers off. Yeah. I genuinely don't think that I could show up for other people's kid. And I think any teacher that you talk to could say this, because during the school year, I'm doing stuff on Saturday mornings. I'm doing stuff at night when I get home. Like I'm always thinking about things. So for me, like the summer is like literally needed for my brain to just be like, whew. Yeah. And then by the end of the summer, I'm always ready to go back to work. Like I look forward to getting back into the routine and everything like that. But like I need that time. You know what I mean? And like other jobs give them, you know, X amount of vacation days like that they could do everything like that. I get 3 personal days for the entire year that I'm able to take off. Like if I were to take them, you know what I mean? So like I don't have those days throughout 9 months of the year that I'm able to do that. But then everyone else will be like, oh, teachers get off like all summer, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, and I have no vacation. I get yelled at when I take sick days and it creates more work for me. So like, you know what I mean? That's I really like feel so strongly that I'm like, your job should not be everything that you're doing all the time.
I agree with you. And I feel the same thing about the busy season for weddings. It's the opposite of yours, basically. It's like during the summer, like the warm months, and then in the winter and the cold months, it like basically shuts down. And I agree. Like towards the end, I'm like, all right, like I'm really tired today, but like, let's do it. I feel like I've now learned like, here's how much time I need like between shoots to like still be like 100% when I am shooting. But then, yeah, when the winter comes, I'm like, oh, thank God, like I have some time off. And then like when it resets, then I'm like excited to start again in the spring. So I totally feel you. And yes, and I feel like it would be really easy to look at teachers or like even you, like whatever you just said about like, oh, I work on Saturday mornings and I work on weeknights, like when I get home. I'm sure so many people would be like, oh, well, boo hoo, so do I. Like I work all the time too. I work, and I don't complain. It's like, that's great for you. I don't want to do that.
Right.
I don't care to do that. I don't care to work every single day, every minute, and be like so proud that I don't take time off. Like if you want to work on the Saturday when you just worked every other day, great, go and do it. Like make the extra however many dollars. Like, but don't hate on me for not wanting to do it.
No.
Like I can do whatever the fuck I want and so can you. And I'm not going to hate on you for working, but I will if you hate on me for not working or taking a day off, you know?
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I think we share the same sentiment on that one.
Yes. Wow, this is a fun episode. I want to do more.
I know.
Should we
Part
keep
2?
Yeah, should we keep making our lists?
Yeah.
Okay. We could also just do pet peeves.
Yeah.
And we can just talk about people we hate. Sorry, that was
Yum yuckers.
Yeah, that was dramatic.
That's
Wow.
all right.
What should we do now? Should we go do something fun? Should we go work?
No.
Thank you guys so much for listening to our podcast. Tell us all the not the flex you thought it was that you think.
Yeah, we would love to like reflect another time
Yeah.
about them and, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. We love you. We appreciate you. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.